My name is Emma, and when I was 28 years old, I felt lost. I lived in Portland, Oregon. My job was boring. I worked in a small office answering phones and helping customers. Every day, I sat in front of a computer, smiled at angry voices, and pretended to be okay. But I wasn't okay. I woke up tired. I went to bed tired. I didn't feel excited about anything. I had dreams once. I wanted to write, to travel, to do something special. But now, I only lived from weekend to weekend, from one coffee cup to the next. Most evenings, I came home and sat on the couch, scrolling on my phone for hours. I watched cooking videos, even though I didn't cook anymore. My kitchen was just a room I passed through. My heart felt quiet. One rainy night, I opened a dusty box in my cupboard and found something special. My grandmother's old cookbook. Its cover was soft and faded. The pages were full of small stains, old recipes, and little notes in her handwriting. On the first page, she had written something that touched my soul. Cook with your heart, not just your hands. I read it again. Cook with your heart. And just like that, something inside me woke up. The same night, I made tea and sat down with the book in my lap. There were over 100 recipes, from simple pancakes to complicated roast dinners. Then, like a whisper in my ear, an idea came to me. What if I cook every single recipe in this book and write about it? I had never done something so big before. I wasn't a chef, I wasn't a famous blogger, but I wanted to feel alive again. So I opened my laptop and created a blog. I called it Cooking with My Heart. My first post was short and honest. Hi, I'm Emma. I'm going to cook every recipe in my grandma's book, one per day for 100 days. I don't know if I can do it, but I need something to hold on to. I clicked publish, and my journey began. The next evening, I made chicken and mushroom pie, my grandma's favorite. The kitchen became a battlefield. I burned the onions, I spilled the cream, I forgot to preheat the oven. I dropped a spoon on the floor, but somehow the pie came out okay. When I took the first bite, I closed my eyes. It didn't taste perfect, but it felt like home. Warm, comforting, real. That night I wrote, Day 1, a disaster in the kitchen, but my heart is full. Every day I came home from work, changed clothes, and cooked. The recipes got harder. Some nights I stayed up until midnight trying to make a cake rise. One day I mixed up salt and sugar. The cake was so salty, I had to throw it away. Another day I cried because my beef stew was too watery. I wanted to quit. But then I saw a comment on my blog. I made your chicken pie today. My husband loved it. Thank you. That comment was small, but it gave me strength. I started learning more than cooking. I learned to trust myself, to laugh when things went wrong, to try again. After a month, more people found my blog. I had readers from Canada, India, and Argentina. I got emails like, You helped me learn English and feel less alone. Your food reminds me of my grandmother. I believe in myself because you believe in your kitchen. Strangers became friends. My words traveled across the world. It felt like magic. For the first time in years, I felt like I was doing something that mattered. But not everyone was happy. My boyfriend, Liam, who had lived with me for 2 years, started acting distant. You cook every night, he said. You don't spend time with me anymore. I'm trying to do something for myself, I said. I feel like I'm second place, he replied. One evening, after another argument, he said, "Maybe we need a break." I watched him pack a bag and walk out. The silence after the door closed was louder than anything. I sat in the kitchen, my hands shaking. The recipe I planned to cook sat untouched. But then I opened my grandmother's book and I cooked through my tears. Around day 60, everything felt heavy. My job was getting worse. I got in trouble for using company time to check my blog. I had no energy left. One night, while cooking soup, I spilled everything on the floor. Hot liquid splashed everywhere. My knees gave out and I sat on the floor and cried. "I'm done," I whispered. "I can't keep doing this." My phone buzzed. A message from a girl in Thailand. "Emma, your stories help me learn English every night. Your food gives me hope." That message lifted me up. I cleaned the kitchen. I made toast. I wrote a post. I kept going. Some days were hard, but some days were beautiful. I made roast duck with orange sauce perfectly. I learned how to make pastry from scratch. I even made a 3-layer cake for my friend's birthday, and people asked for the recipe. My blog started to grow faster. People began sharing it on social media. A few cooking websites linked to it. One evening, I received a message from a local cooking school. "Would you like to guest teach a beginner class?" I was shocked. "I am not a chef," I replied. "You cook with love. That's enough," they said. On day 100, I made the final recipe. Lemon butter roast chicken with rosemary potatoes. It was the dish my grandmother made every New Year's Eve. She said it brought good luck. I cooked slowly, carefully, smiling the whole time. I set the table for one, placed a photo of my grandmother next to me, lit a candle, and ate. It wasn't just delicious, it was perfect. Then I sat down to write my final blog post. Day 100. I started this journey feeling empty, but through food, mistakes, and love, I found myself. I didn't become a chef, I became me. 1 week later, I got an email from a small publishing company. "We love your blog. Would you like to turn it into a book?" My hands shook as I read the message again and again. Me? A book? 6 months later, Cooking with My Heart was printed and sold online. My picture was on the back cover, smiling in my kitchen. People began writing to me, saying, "Your book helps me learn English. I cook with my daughter now because of you. I want to write my own blog too." Now, I teach online cooking classes. Students join from all around the world: Mexico, Germany, Japan, Egypt. Some are teenagers, some are grandmothers, some just want to hear English spoken clearly while learning to cook. My kitchen is full of life, and so is my heart. Sometimes I still burn things, sometimes I still cry, but now I know one truth. Passion doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be real. If you ever feel lost, if you think your life has no flavor, if you are scared to begin something new, start anyway, even if you make mistakes, even if people don't believe in you. Cook with your heart, write with your soul, live with courage. Because when you do, you will not only feed yourself, you will inspire others too. I'm Emma. I found myself in my grandmother's cookbook. Maybe, just maybe, your story is waiting in your kitchen too. My name is Ben Tyler. People always said I was a bit different. Not stupid, just slow. I didn't talk fast. I didn't understand everything the first time. But I had one thing: a good heart. This is my story. I hope it shows you that even a quiet person with a simple mind can live a full and beautiful life. I was born in a small town called Maple Ridge, where people grow apples and talk slow like the river. My legs were not strong when I was a boy. I had to wear big metal braces that made me walk funny. Other kids laughed at me. Ben walks like a robot, they shouted. Some even threw small stones. I didn't know why they were mean. But one person never laughed. Her name was Lily May. She had golden hair and kind eyes. She sat beside me on the school bus when no one else would. You walk different, but that's okay, she said. I like different. From that day, Lily became my best friend. I didn't say it out loud, but I loved her more than the sun loves the sky. One day, some boys chased me after school. They threw rocks and called me names. Run, robots, run! They yelled. My legs felt heavy, my braces clanked with every step. Then I heard Lily's voice from far away. Run, Ben, run as fast as you can. So I ran. Something amazing happened. My braces broke. They snapped and fell off like bird cages opening. Suddenly, I was fast, so fast, I felt like I had wings. I ran away from those boys. I ran past the road. I ran past the river. And from that day on, I never stopped running. I ran to school. I ran to the store. I even ran just to think. Running made me feel free. My mama always told me, Ben, you don't have to be clever to be kind. Kind people go further in life than smart ones. She worked 2 jobs to take care of me. She packs my lunch every day and hid a little note inside. The note said things like, keep going, I believe in you, or smile today. Even if I didn't do well in school, I tried to be kind to everyone. I held doors, I carried boxes, I helped the janitor sweep the floor. I didn't always understand science or history, but I understood how to make people smile. That made me feel smart in a different way. Lily wanted to be a singer. She had a notebook full of songs and a guitar with one broken string. Someday I will sing on a big stage, she told me under our favorite tree. You will be in the front row, clapping for me. I will clap louder than anyone, I said. Her life wasn't easy. Her dad drank too much. Her mom had left years ago. Sometimes she cried in secret. I didn't know how to help, so I just sat next to her and gave her half of my peanut butter sandwich. Sometimes love means being there, even without words. After high school, I didn't know what to do. I didn't get into college, but one day, a man in a uniform came to our town. He said the army would teach us new things, so I joined. At the training camp, I didn't speak much, but I followed every rule. I folded my blankets the best I could. I cleaned my boots until they shined. One officer said, this guy might be quiet, but he is one of the best we have got. I met a boy named Leo. He talked fast and smiled even faster. After the army, he said, I'm going to open a popcorn shop. You will help me, right? I will, I said. I can sweep the floors. You will be more than a sweeper. We will be partners. We were sent to a country far away. There was a war. It rained for days, weeks, maybe even months. Rain in our boots, rain in our bags, rain in our hearts. Then one night, we were walking quietly. There was a loud explosion. Boom! Leo fell. I picked him up and carried him through the mud. He didn't make it. That night, I looked up at the stars and cried. He just wanted to sell popcorn. When I came home, I opened a small popcorn stand on Main Street, Leo's Popcorn Corner. I used the recipe Leo talked about: extra butter, little salt, crispy and warm. Kids loved it. People came from other towns to try it. Every Sunday, I gave out free popcorn to children with no lunch money. People said, "Ben, your popcorn is magic." I just smiled and said, "It's Leo's magic, not mine. I'm just keeping it warm." One day, while popping corn, I heard a song on the radio. The voice was soft and sweet. It was Lily. She had moved to the city. She found a music teacher. She worked at cafes until someone gave her a chance. I sent her a letter with a drawing of our tree and the words, "Still clapping." She called me. "You remembered our tree?" I never forgot. She came home for a few days. Her hair was longer now, and she wore shiny earrings. "You look like music," I said. "And you smell like popcorn," she said, laughing. After she left again, I felt sad, so I ran. I ran from one town to another. People started to notice. They asked me, "Why are you running?" I said, "I just felt like running." Some ran with me, some took pictures. One lady wrote a blog called "The Man with a Simple Heart," but I didn't care about the attention. I ran because it helped my heart speak when my mouth couldn't. One day, I got a letter from Lily. "Ben, I need you. Please come to Riverstone." I packed my best shirt and took the early bus. She opened the door. She smiled, but looked tired. "I'm sick, Ben," she said. My heart cracked. I didn't ask many questions. I just stayed. I cooked soup. I sang her songs. I brushed her hair. I sat by her bed. One afternoon, she said, "I have something to tell you." She opened the bedroom door. A little boy stood there. "This is Jamie. He is your son." Jamie had Lily's smile and my quiet eyes. He was 5. He loved trains and stories about superheroes. "Are you really my dad?" he asks. "I sure am." I didn't know how to be a father. I had never done it before. But I read him stories every night. I taught him how to fold blankets. We watched birds and counted stars. When Lily got too weak to walk, Jamie and I pushed her in a chair around the garden. She smiled more than she cried. One day, she whispered, "You will be a great father." Then she closed her eyes. Now, Jamie goes to school every morning, and I sit on a bench by the bus stop with a box of chocolates. Sometimes, people sit next to me. I tell them stories about popcorn, running, Leo, Lily, and Jamie. Some people smile, some cry, some just listen. I don't know big words. I can't fix computers, but I can tell a story, and sometimes that's enough. People once called me slow. They said I wouldn't do much in life. But I helped a friend's dream come true. I raised a kind boy. I laughed deeply and stayed true. I ran when I needed to think. I stayed quiet when words weren't needed. And I sat beside people who felt alone. And I have learned something simple. You don't need a big brain to live a big life. You just need a simple heart.